Hi, welcome to this edition of Hanging Out with the Laser Man. Today we are going to talk about presbyopic implants or PI. P for presbyopia, I for implant, PI in eye, shortened to PIE, PI. Easy to remember, right? Forget all the confusing term bifocals, trifocals, multifocals, accommodating, and clear lens exchange, refractive lens exchange, and remember PI. Now, there are different kinds of PI based on their mechanism of action. And today we'll start with the FDA approved ones as to help you decide which might be the best for you in the United States. And then we'll talk about a little bit more about the ones being used in Europe, which are not FDA approved yet and which may never be. But at least it's good to have some knowledge what our European colleagues are thinking and doing. So the FDA-approved PIs can be divided into two kinds. One is the accommodative lens, and the other are multifocal lenses. The accommodative lenses work by bending in this shape. This is crystal lens. This is the only accommodative lens available in the United States. There are other lenses called nanoflex, tetraflex. Either they are not approved or they are not approved for presbyopia. So for presbyopia lens, the only accommodative lens is this crystal lens. It comes in different models. Can be simple crystal lens AO, which is more aspheric, and crystal lens with built-in astigmatism correction called true line crystal lens. So these work by sitting in the eye and assuming this shape. And so either they can move a little bit and bend and bring about accommodation, or just by the particular shape, and you'll notice the difference in this shape versus, let's say, a lens which is not accommodating or monofocal, and you see this sits flat and this sits curved. So this gives depth of perception, so you can see far, middle, and somewhat of near. So if you're used to reading at a distance, this will look good for you, especially if you're a taller person and have longer hands. And the other kinds are the multifocals. So there are two multifocals. The yellow one is the Restore, and it has these central rings which are called apodizations. That what they do is they split the incoming light into distance and near, and you can see simultaneously both, and the brain chooses what it wants to see. This is very similar to hold your finger in front of a distance object, and when you look at the finger, the distance object becomes blurry, and when you look far away, the finger becomes blurry, but both are in your line of vision. And then we have this white lens, which is Technis. It has more rings than the Restore, and this allows you to see far and near, but misses the middle part. Now, out of these three lenses, which would be best for your eye is the subject of my book, which I've written, The Miracle of PI in Eye, and I'll try to cover that concept in brief here, and maybe in a few subsequent videos, depending on how you portray your questions to me. But let's look at it. Monofocal, presbyopic implants. Before 1940s, there were no implants put in. Harold Ridley was the first to come up with a glass-shaped or a implant made of glass, which was disc-shaped in the 1940s, 50s. A lot of modifications occurred. Then we had this foldable lens, which gets folded and gets implanted into your eye. A word of caution here. A lot of people ask, hey, are the lenses so big? How will they go into my eye? These are only models for demonstrations. These are not the ones we use in your eye. So the monofocal foldable lens goes in, and these became popular in the 90s, and they're the previous century version, which only allows you to see at one distance, either distance, middle, or near. So distance, like seeing your grandkids play. Middle, looking at your phone. Near is reading the labels on bottles. So this has become very much outdated today, so we'll keep it aside. And so the big category of deciding for your eye now in particular is, do you want the accommodative or multifocal? And in multifocal, which one? So a couple of things you have to look at is your own lifestyle. Do you drive at night? Are you a golfer, skier? Do you do a lot of knitting? Are you a librarian? Are you very active or sedentary? So each one of those choices will help you see which will be better. Now, a lot of people ask, hey, which is the best one of them all? No one lens can be best, because if one was best, we shouldn't even make any other. It's a little similar to seeing which car is better, a BMW or Mercedes, a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. It depends on people's preference, but here some surgeons have their own preference and they prefer one lens if they work for that company or they have a deal with the other company. But we are looking at it from a consumer or patient or your point of view, which will work best for your eye, believe it or not. And sometimes one eye might get one implant, another eye, the other eye of yours will get another implant based on your unique needs. The way we approach is you're a unique person. No person on earth is exactly like you. Your needs, your eye shape, the length of your eye, whether you have diabetes, macular degeneration, glaucoma, all this will help us choose what will be best for you. Not only for today and tomorrow, but for the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years. So it's very imperative that you bring your lifestyle to the surgeon. Surgeon brings these various choices to you. And in the discussion, there's a mutual understanding which would work best for you. In our practice, it takes us 7, 8 minutes to do the procedure, but deciding which thing will work best for you can take anywhere from 30 minutes to 2 hours. And sometimes that discussion can be spread over days with the staff and myself, etc. And why is that so important? Because unlike LASIK, which is very dependent on the prescription, and where it's one kind fits all, the lenses are very unique, and each one will work differently in different people's eyes. I know it's a very confusing subject, and so we will postpone talking about the upcoming technologies, and instead, in the next episode, we'll pick up some examples from our book, Miracle of Pie and Eye, of various patients we've done, and see which might fit in your lifestyle better. So hang in there with the laser man, and we'll clear all your confusion. Have a wonderful day.